All right. Welcome everybody into the 401 Conversations podcast. It's been a while since we've had an episode, and there's certainly been a lot of things that have happened since that time. But for those of you guys listening for the first time, I am Mike Neeley. I am the owner and lead investment consultant here at Equity 401k Consultants. And today we're going to talk about solo 401k plans, what they are, how they work, what they can do, and we're going to talk about some important lessons learned from taking 401ks that are solo Ks and converting them into a full group plan and some of the issues that can happen along the way. So let's dive in. So first and foremost, what's a solo 401k? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. It is a 401k that is built for one person or one participant. Usually that would be the solopreneur, the sole proprietor, independent contractor, just basically a single person business. And they are designed to help that individual maximize the benefits of what comes with a regular 401k plan. So the contribution limits are the same. Profit sharing can be involved in it, and it can essentially help our solopreneurs and sole proprietors and individually owned businesses save on taxes and save for retirement. It can also be used in conjunction, same way as a 401k with a defined benefit plan. So like a cash balance plan, you can create a combo plan out of them. And they're great because of the benefits that they give single person businesses. So, you think of the 401k benefit, you think of the maximum amount that you can save for retirement or the ability to save for retirement better than in like an IRA. And then you also think of what the tax benefits can be when you get to add in a profit share and you get to add in these other things. Solo 401ks can be big for folks who are growing and they're making a lot more money and they just simply make sense for the situation. You're maxing out your IRA contributions, or maybe you want a little more flexibility than like a SEP IRA. And, maybe you've grown large enough too, where it's come to a point where you can start supersizing your retirement and adding a cash balance plan in and creating a combo plan with it. So again, it's a great vehicle. There's a lot of benefits that come into play for those individuals that can take advantage of it. And of course, same things apply, right? There's a plan document. You got to have a plan document to govern the rules of the plan. There's a record keeper. So whether that is going to be, one of the big guys that's out there, or maybe a smaller provider, they do exist. They're there to help. And you also can have an advisor to the plan. And so you still get that same three-prong approach to the overall plan. And you can also bundle it. Solo K can be a bundled package, and it also can be unbundled, like I was just mentioning. So, there's that flexibility and there's the ability to grow. So what I really want to hone in now that we've talked about some of the benefits of a solo 401k and setting one up if you're a single owner business, there's some cons and some things that can happen as things go along. So as I mentioned, like a regular 401k plan, you have a plan document. That plan document is going to have eligibility requirements. Those eligibility requirements can be stringent. They can be pretty loose. Just depends. And if, down the road, your business is growing large enough where it's time to start thinking about hiring staff, that's where we can run into some issues. So let's talk about some of those issues. Let's start with a little story here. So I've worked with clients that started with a solo 401k. Maybe they've come and they've decided now's the time they want to turn it into a large benefit. And so they reach out to somebody like me to get that process started. And as we move into the process, we start to review the plan document, right? So if we're going to change third-party administrators or we're just going to change the benefit overall, we start looking at that. And what ends up happening is that a lot of providers that are out there will use basically a boilerplate document. And those boilerplate documents, for as quickly as they can help you set up a plan, the language in there under eligibility can make it really easy to create an issue after you hire somebody. So an example would be you hire your first employee, let's say your executive assistant or your administrative assistant, to help with servicing or just helping you manage your day-to-day business. And in the process of hiring that person, you don't mention the 401k plan because they're part-time. Maybe you think that they're not going to meet any of the requirements, or, you have some time to dive in there to make them eligible for the plan. And unfortunately, the plan document says they're eligible right away. Well, that can create some problems, especially if you're under the impression that part-time employees aren't eligible, or maybe if they're under 21, you think they're not eligible. And so what happens is maybe you go out for a year or 2 years, you do some profit share, you do all these different, things around the plan. You're making contributions, but over that time, this individual should have been eligible. Well, now you have a problem because now there's going to be all kinds of correction work that has to be done in order to make this person who should have been eligible whole under the rules and to fix your plan. And that can get super pricey. Not to mention, maybe the profit share that you put in is now going to have to be redistributed amongst, this eligible employee. And you were not expecting that. And you were expecting that to be a part of your nest egg for retirement. And, you're going to have Department of Labor fees that you're now going to have to pay for failure to file a 5500. There's corrections work that's going to have to be done with, your third-party administrator. And that's not going to be cheap because they certainly will charge an hourly rate to do their work. And rightfully so. Nobody's going to, work for free or fix these things for free. You're now also going to have to come out of pocket to make up what this person should have been able to contribute, and missed deferral opportunities and things like that, and earnings and all these different things that can cause a major headache and be more expensive than you thought it was going to be. So this scenario is super common, happens all the time. And it can happen for a variety of reasons. Maybe you start another business and you think, well, this 401k is solo 401k is not related to this business. It's a different EIN. It's a different company. Well, there's rules that govern that too. And so because of that, you really want to take the time to make sure that you're working properly within the confines of your plan document. So how do we avoid all of this? How do we avoid all of these issues that may arise and when creating a solo K and then hiring employees? First thing to do, if you're considering hiring an employee, this is step number one. If you're at that point where you believe now is the time to hire somebody, first thing you want to do is review your plan document. Reach out to your administrator of the plan, whoever's doing the third-party administration, or reach out to your financial advisor if you're working with an advisor. Say, hey, this is the time. I think I'm ready to hire somebody. What's going to happen is we're going to go through and we're going to review that document, and we're going to see what the eligibility requirements are. We're going to have a discussion about plan design. We're going to have a discussion about, do you want to make this employee eligible? If they're just going to be part-time, do you want to make them, eligible to contribute to the plan? Do you want to provide, the safe harbor match that it might take for you to continue to contribute, the maximum amount and get everything that you want out of it? There's a series of questions that would go into that. So step number one is reach out to your third-party administrator, reach out to your advisor, get that conversation started. Step two is, once you figure out exactly what you want to do before you hire that employee, so whether that is, amending the plan document eligibility requirements, right, to make it more stringent or as stringent as you want it to be for the period, you can do that. Or, take into consideration what you're going to have to do for safe harbor and what that's going to cost in order to bring this employee into the plan, right? But these two steps are crucial because if you don't start that conversation and you don't review the plan document and you don't amend the plan document as needed, you may be creating for yourself an entire headache that you did not expect. So the goal with the 401k or any retirement plan benefit is to maximize that benefit, right? You want to be able to save as much as you can. You want to provide a great benefit for your employees. And you also want to maximize the tax savings that you can get from these vehicles. But if you don't do things properly and follow these steps, that great benefit can turn into a nightmare benefit. And we see it, it's common. Just take that into consideration. And if you're seeing this and you're thinking, oh, wait a second, maybe I need to review my plan document, I would do so immediately, because like anything else, the longer you wait to fix something, the more expensive it's going to be when it comes to retirement plan benefits, and the more complicated it could potentially be to fix. Especially if you've had employees come and go out of your organization, that can make it, even harder to deal with. We run solo 401k plans all the time. We help convert solo 401ks into full group benefits. We have a great team of third-party administrators and record keepers that we work with that could certainly help design the plan properly for you and help you get to that point. And, we are also a very hands-on advisor firm by holding quarterly meetings, by doing compliance reviews mid-year, things like that, just to make sure that we're keeping up with everything. Again, I always want to offer the opportunity to review something for you, complimentary, to help answer any questions. So at the end of this, as always, every video podcast is going to be the contact information. The contact information will always be in the show notes. And again, the goal is to help you create a plan that helps you maximize your benefit as the business owner and help create security and help your employees get to retirement and have a great benefit as well. Again, these things happen. Happy to help. And if you're thinking of starting a solo 401k, we can certainly discuss that process as well and what it takes, what the costs that go into it, and how to do it properly to ensure that there's no hiccups that, could come up down the road like we discussed earlier. Again, I appreciate you guys, as always, taking the time to listen to me discuss 401k and everything in the world of employer-sponsored retirement plans. Again, I'm Mike Neeley, owner and investment consultant here at Equity 401k Consultants. Look forward to bringing you more great content in the future, and reach out as needed.